Texans defensive lineman J.J. Watt swats passes, sacks quarterbacks, and was named NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2012. Not bad for a guy who was booed on the day he was drafted. It's funny, given your heroic status in this city, that the day you were drafted, there were actually boos. I mean, that's...
Lots of boos. They all wanted somebody else. It didn't matter who it was, they didn't want me. They saw me as, from what I read and what I saw, a safe pick that wasn't really ever going to be a playmaker, that never really had the potential to be great, would always be decent but never a star. My sole goal is to change these people's minds, is to make these people love me and to prove to them why I was the right pick.
When did you first start feeling like, wow, people here, they're really starting to love me?
I mean, the clear, cut and dry moment that it really became what it is today is the interception for a touchdown in the playoffs.
No one boos J.J. Watt in Houston anymore. He's become a fan favorite and returns the love. Like when he arranged to meet this little girl who desperately wanted to marry her sports hero.
You want to do what?
Marry J.J. Watt.
You want to marry J.J. Watt? Aww.
I got a chance to meet Brianna, and she didn't even know that I was going to be there. She just thought she was getting a tour of the stadium, and that was a special day. I gave her my white jersey, and it was so big on her that it was just like a wedding dress, and we had the ring pops for rings and the flowers, and had our first dance, and knowing that we literally took tears and turned them into a smile, that's cool.
There's this really cool little kid that's battling leukemia, and he had a robot. He had to attend class and be a robot, and he named the robot?
He named it Watt.
Watt. And you got hold of this story too,
Yep.
and tracked him down as well?
Yep.
Right? What was it like when you met him, when you went over to his house?
Christian's story was phenomenal. I snuck in the house, and he was doing his homework, and he had a Watt jersey on. And so his class, the way the robot works is he can see the class and the class can see him. So his whole class could see me sneaking up behind him, but he didn't know anything. And he was working on it, and I snuck up behind him, and I just said, "What are you working on?"
Oh my God.
What's up, buddy?
Oh my God.
That's a day that I'm gonna remember, that he's gonna remember for a long, long time.
A week ago, we told you about a little boy battling cancer who uses a robot to go to school, and it's a robot he named Watt.
Yes, well, someone named Watt was watching that night. Kevin Reese went back to Splendora to see the student get a 6'5" surprise.
It was a cool enough idea at first, a robot that goes to school.
Hello, Christian. How are you today?
For a 12-year-old boy with leukemia who can't.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
He operates it from a home computer so he can still sit in his 6th grade front row. And he named the robot Watt.
Because I love J.J. Watt.
That was a week ago. And guess who was watching? The guy sneaking up behind him this afternoon for the surprise of his young life.
What are you working on?
Oh my God.
What's up, buddy?
Oh my God.
I'm JJ.
Oh my God.
Nice to meet you, man.
Oh my God.
The Texans' defensive star drove to Splendora to spend over 2 hours with his young fan.
Guys, this is J.J. Watt.
And the fans on the other end of the robot back at Greenleaf Elementary School.
I'm sorry for interrupting your class. I hope you guys don't mind.
That's awesome. I saw the story. I appreciate you naming it after me, man. Give me a route. I need a route.
They played football in the backyard. They danced and mugged for the cameras. And a 12-year-old with cancer
That's it. Hey!
forgot about his troubles, at least for a while.
It was awesome. It still is awesome. He's still here.
When I heard the story that he named his robot after me and that he was such a big fan, I mean, it's a no-brainer to do stuff like this. And to see the smile on his face when he realized I was in the room with him, and to see all the kids, there's no better feeling in the world.
It means a lot, and I'm never going to forget it. Never. It's always going to be in here.
I understand.
And in here.
Christian starts chemo again on Monday, so today it was safe enough for JJ to also take him back to school to see the other kids too.
He just has a big heart for kids, you know, may not even have cancer. It means something else. I mean, he just does. He's just a nice guy, and I can already tell.
And so can we. In Splendora, Kevin Reese, KHOU 11 News.
July 2nd, 2011, Lubbock, Texas. The Berry family of 5 is driving home from their summer vacation when they're hit head-on by a distracted driver. The 2 boys are paralyzed. The little girl's bones are broken. And then an aunt delivers the darkest kind of news.
We just told them each separately that Mom and Dad didn't make it.
13 days later, into that hospital room of 3 suddenly orphaned kids came a very big surprise. A 6'5" surprise, to be exact.
JJ Watt came in, so I was like shocked. I couldn't take a smile off my face.
I wanted to do anything that I could to help put a smile on their face for 2 seconds even.
When I first met him, I could tell that he was he liked to give and he cared not just about himself, but for other people.
Peter pulled out his iPad and he said, "Here, put your number in my iPad so we can text you." It's just kind of a relationship built from that.
Pin your fingers on mine.
You're getting there.
God.
Someday. Keep eating your vegetables, right?
There are 2 things that are very hard to stop in Houston. JJ Watt on a rush and the Berry kids. Together, they shoot hoops, play cards, make music, lift things, get tricky, go deep, stretch boundaries, and stretch minds.
Is he more kid or adult?
He can be both.
We've been friends ever since, and so coming over here always kind of puts a smile on my face, and it's great seeing them.
But you come over here and you stay.
We hang out. I mean, they're just like friends of mine.
To the Berry's aunt and uncle, who had 2 kids one day and 5 the next, JJ Watt has been better than a busload of nannies. Did you know who JJ Watt was?
I had no idea. For the first 15 months, we were just trying to literally get through the day. And I was so grateful for this JJ because it gave the boys such a smile. The boys talked about JJ. JJ just sent me a text. I need to text JJ. JJ's about to call me. There's a lot of JJ. He's just an amazing, amazing person.
You talk about sacrifice? Sacrifice is a 295-pound country music fan taking a bunch of kids to a Justin Bieber concert.
How you doing? Good to see you.
What's been the best day
Good.
you've had since the accident?
Probably ditching school and going to the Texans practice.
I have 2 of JJ Watt's shoes. This is one of them. He actually wore this in a game. If you look from the bottom, it looks like a giant.
So how do you think of him?
He's kind of like an older brother.
Especially if your older brother happens to like sending you personal messages through your TV set.
My game against Jacksonville, they said they were going to be watching the game, so we were talking about a signal that I could give so they knew that it was for them.
And we were thinking of dances, and he's like, "Well, I just came to your basketball practice." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do the wheelchair dance and then salute." It was awesome, in front of the whole country, that's awesome. It was huge.
1, 2, 3, salute, high five.
In return, Peter did something for JJ.
I want to read you this thing that Peter wrote. It was a class assignment about someone who's influenced their lives. He says, "One person who influences me the most is JJ Watt. He teaches you to never give up. He teaches you that no matter how famous or wealthy you are, everybody is equal."
I always wear his bracelet that says DBWH, dream big and work hard. He is the best defensive player in the NFL because he never gives up. I agree, you should always work hard.
That's unbelievable. That'll get you. That'll get you going. To hear that I've had even a little impact on their lives is pretty crazy, and it's awesome, and that's something I'll cherish forever.